Okay. So, okay, how did I want to? Oh, there was something. Okay. Okay, so thank you for that compliment, by the way. Yeah, so another thing I really wanted to share, and I think it's just important to keep in mind when you're out there and trying to find someone or kind of just letting it go with the flow type of thing. I think it's important to have kind of deal with whatever demons or whatever trauma, whatever things that you need to be dealing with as an adult. Deal with those before you come into a new, fresh relationship. Make sure that that person does the same. That way, you're not carrying each other's baggages in a relationship. And you're just kind of coming in with an open mind, fresh, open to a relationship, not kind of holding on to like past experiences or whatever you may have been going through personally.
Yeah, that's really key, that you said that, just because it's kind of easier said than done, right?
Mm-hmm.
When try to leave past in the past and focus on what's in the present and what's in front of you. Mm-hmm. That's really like golden for a successful future relationship or whatever you're going to endure.
Yeah.
Definitely. And also I really like how you said before you get into any other relationship or any other fling, you really want to focus on any kind of demons or any kind of toxic, thoughts that are going in your head, because you don't want to bring it into that next relationship. And then also that person doesn't really deserve your extra baggage or, whatever happened in your past, to, life, so I really, really agree 100% with that, Angie, when you say to just do you, boo, per se, until,
mm-hmm. Find yourself, be content with whatever you need to be content with before you really like take on the emotion of being in a relationship and being content with being independent as well. You don't want to go in already codependent. Like, I don't know. It just seems like you want to avoid yourself being in a toxic relationship or creating a toxic relationship because you're allowed to be independent. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is it safe to say that when you're in a relationship, you kind of merge into one person, right? You kind of start talking like each other. You kind of start doing the same habits as them. You literally are like one person. And then once that happens, you kind of lose yourself, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's probably different for everybody, but I don't know, and it's really important to stay, one, or to stay or to know who you are and what you're about, and to, have that kind of position in relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's exactly what I'm trying to like bring that message across to people, saying like, you're allowed to be yourself and like the things you like, not necessarily share every part of you, of your being with this person, because, worst case scenario, you have to move on. And now you're going through a breakup. At least having that sort of agreement with yourself that you're okay with being independent, like, I think that's important to have,
Yeah, 100%. What do you mean? I mean, it just stuck out to me. What do you mean, be yourself 100%? Kind of stuck out to me.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, worst case scenario, say you guys break up. Yeah, breakups hurt. They suck. Not fun. Been there, done that. I think a lot of people, when they go through breakups, they take it the hardest because they end up, or we take it the hardest, I should say, because you become very codependent with people. And I think somewhere in the back of your mind, not saying that you should have this doubt in your relationship, but there should be some kind of level of independency. Like, find an activity that you can do by yourself or like enjoy by yourself. And that way, when these things happen, or if they do happen, at least you'll be able to have those activities to go to feel good about yourself, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I remember when, for example, whenever I was door knocking, actually before COVID hit, and I ran across this woman, and she was pregnant, obviously, and she was like, oh, like I was asking her about, you know, selling the home, and she was like, oh no, you know, or buying a home, and she's like, no, I'm just a housewife. And I was like, oh, like, what do you mean you're just a housewife? Like, that is anything, you know, you can get a home, you can do this, you can do that. And it kind of like stunned me, because I was like, wait, what do you mean? You have so many opportunities nowadays, you know, to do this and that, and to not only categorize yourself as, I don't know, for example, a housewife. I didn't see her as that. I saw her as, you know, a wife who was pregnant, and she could possibly own a business, or own a bakery business, or own a painting shop, or, you know, whatever she's into, because I'm like, oh, like she could probably be, you know, somebody and her own individual person in that relationship. You know, not just, you know,
it's not just
the wife, or I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get you. It's not just a relationship. You have to really have a relationship with yourself as well. And I think that's kind of key of what we're trying to say, like having that relationship with yourself is important too. Because I know
I actually,
what were you saying?
No. I was gonna say you go ahead, because it's a little laggy. So I was like, no, wait, you go.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say you definitely enjoy your independence, and I could see that. And I know I, for one, can do the same. Like I have my independent things, and so does my boyfriend. Like he'll do his thing, and like I'll do my own thing, and you know, towards the end of the night we'll find each other and like hang out or whatever, and then that's it. But it's just like funny, because like throughout the day we work together. I know a lot of people are like, how do you tolerate that all day? I'm like,
I was gonna say, what is the secret, Angie? We're all dying to know.
Honestly, the friendship part is a big thing. Like you have to be okay with like being friends, and then respecting each other's space as well. Like I have my own activities. Like I like to be active and go out, hang out with my friends, go to the gym by myself, whatever. And like sometimes I'll tell him to come with me, or he'll stay home, do his thing. So it's just about like creating space and having that relationship with yourself. I think that's like, honestly, that's probably key in our relationship.
I think that's another thing. Once you hit a certain point in a relationship where you know that the foundation is solid, you kind of are single in your own way, but you're like married, right? It's basically like you're married. So you know, you're like, at the end of the day, you're tied to each other, but you get to have your own life. You get to hang out with your own friends. There's that trust, right? That level of trust, because you've been with you know, you built so much history for so long, and you know, there's that level of like, okay, I'm my own person now, and I get to go explore and find myself, but still be with that person, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I would say that you probably got it, my girl.
Oh, you guys, that's the goal. When who your best friends first, and then, you know, the intimacy or the romance is, you know, the next level. I think that's when it is really the cherry on top of a real relationship, of how it should be, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. So I guess,
but
what were you saying?
I was gonna say, just until then, you know, just keep doing you. And you know, it's really good to have best friends that treat you like boyfriend and girlfriend, because you got to take each other on cute dates, and you know, still get your, but like you're focusing on your career and building yourself. That's the medicine, I'm telling you.
Okay, you're onto something there, Val. But I guess we can pretty much end it here, unless you had any other little maybe advice to our little sis. Like what would be like key? I know that we were kind of all over the place with like level relationships, but I think it's kind of like good perspective, because we don't know what exactly our audience looks like. So
Well, yeah, I feel like we hit all ranges, you know, the very roots and beginnings of it and the towards the ends of it and what should look like. And like you said, just kind of just touch upon that. Just focus on yourself and you'll attract the right one, I feel like. So if you guys have any, you know, struggles or any stories or any situations you're going through that you kind of want maybe some advice on, I'm sure myself and Angie have been through a number of things where we can kind of touch upon and kind of guide you through that. So
Yeah.
definitely don't be, you know, afraid to reach out.
Yes. Yes. And I'll just like to end on a really solid, good sister note too. One thing I will say or end it at is always put yourself first and have self-respect. You know, don't be okay with being in a toxic relationship. Don't be okay with someone mistreating you, disrespecting you. Just know you deserve a whole lot better. If you're not talking to your friends, your family, or you're avoiding this sort of topic conversation with, you know, people who actually care with you, it's probably because you're going through a toxic thing. So, you know, many people experience that. And I think it's just important to understand you deserve the best and you should have those standards held high, sis.
Yeah. Yes, girl, preach. Ooh, your church, I swear.
Amen.
But 100, hallelujah, 100%. You know way for you and act on it. Don't just think about it. You have to act on it. Okay, take care of yourself.
Yes, 100%. All right, guys. Well, as always, Big Sis and Big Sis Val are here for you. If you have any questions, again, like Val said, feel free to at bigsisquestion@gmail.com. We're always here for you, and thanks for joining us today.